Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to see printmaking as a two-dimensional media. So printing is a process for reproducing text and images using a master form or template. There are 5 big printing techniques: relief, intaglio, lithography, screen printing, and digital inkjet. We are going to skip the last one, digital inkjet. Probably everyone knows what it is, right? So now let's see one by one from relief to screen printing. So relief. Relief print make the print plates raised area hold the ink. So the term relief describes any printing method in which the image to the printed is raised from a background. So let's see the process in detail. So number 1, here. An image is designed and is prepared for transfer to the block surface. And number 2, the image is now transferred to the block. And number 3, the surface area that will not be printed is curved away like this. And number 4, the remaining protruding surface is carefully inked. And number 5, the raised inked area is transferred to the surface to be printed. So there are 3 popular ways of relief printing. Woodcut. So woodcut is that an artist curves an image into the surface of a block of wood, typically with gauzes. And the next one is wood engraving. Wood engraving is a printing and a letterpress printing technique in which an artist works an image or matrix of images into a block of wood. And the last one is lino cut. So lino cut or linoleum cut is very similar to the wood cut. So linoleum, however, is much softer than wood. The relative softness makes linoleum easier to cut. So this one is woodcut relief printing. So as you can see, the image area and the image outline were curved away, and the rest of the area is printed with ink. And this is wood engraving. Except for the image outline, the rest parts are curved away, so the outlines are printed by ink. And the lino cut. Lino cut can do the same way with woodcut and wood engraving. So it's just using a different block instead of wood, and the linoleum block, so which is the softer and the easier to cut. And let's see the next printing technique, intaglio. So intaglio print make the print plates, the incised areas hold the ink, like this image. Let's see in detail. So this is the process of the intaglio printing. So number 1, an image is designed for the plate. And number 2, using a sharp tool, the artist incises the image into the plate, so make some scratch on the metal plate. So typically for the intaglio, artists use metal plate to make a sketch with the scratches with this sharp tool. And number 3, the plate is inked like this. And number 4, the surface of the plate is white, removing all ink except in the grooves. So the grooves, the scratched part hold the ink. Number 5, paper is placed on the plate and it is pressed with the heavy roller tool. Number 6, the paper lifts the ink out of the grooves and the ink is imprinted on the paper just like this. And the final image is complete. So intaglio is exactly the reverse of relief, in that the areas meant to print are below the surface of the printing plate. The artist uses a sharp tool or acid to make depressions like lines, grooves, or pits in a metal plate. And when the plate is inked, the ink sinks into the depressions. Then the surface of the plate is wiped clean. And when damp paper is brought into contact with the plate under pressure, the paper is pushed into the depressions to pick up the image. So there are diverse types of intaglio, but we are going to see 3 intaglio printmaking. So the first one is dry point, the second one is etching, and the third one is aqua tint. So intaglio is kind of hard to understand, so there are videos for each technique in this page. So please watch these videos for your understanding. So let's see dry point first. As one of the type of intaglio. Dry point is similar to engraving, except that the cutting instrument used is a dry point needle. The artist draws on the plate, actually usually a copper plate, and almost as freely as one can draw on paper with a pencil. As the needle scratches across the plate, it raises a burr or thin ridge of metal. If left in place, the burr will hold ink along with the incised line, producing a soft, slightly blurred line when printed. So this is a dry point print work. So it looks like a pencil drawing, right? And the next intaglio technique is etching. So etching is done with acid that eat lines and depressions into a metal plate, much as sharp tools cut those depressions in the method. So the process is here. So first, the artist coats the entire printing plate with the acid-resistant substance called a ground, just like this image, the first image. And number 2, the artist draws on the coated plate with an etching needle, like this second image, and the needle removes the ground, exposing the bare metal in area meant to print. Number 3, the entire plate is dipped in acid. So this this is acid, and this plate is into the acid bath. So only the portion of the plate, this part, the scratched part, the drawing lines are intact. The ground is removed. The plate is inked and printed. So this is etching work. So looks like a pen drawing with modeling mass with very heavy chiaroscuro, right? The lines are deeper and darker compared to the dry point we just saw because the drawing lines are depressed by acid. So that is the difference with dry point. Let's see aquatint. So aquatint is a way of achieving flat of tone gray values or intermediate values of color. It doesn't need a needle to draw something on the plate like other two intaglio techniques we just saw. The artist first does it with finely powdered resin, like this, the powder. And the plate is heated so the resin sticks to it, like this, like the second image. So the resin resists acid. So when the plate is immersed in acid, the acid will bite all around the resin particles, producing a pitted surface that holds ink evenly. And the artist block on printing area with the ground and brush and dipped the entire plate into acid bath. Like this, the third one is in the acid bath. And the ground is removed, like this, the last one. And the plate is inked and printed. So this is the aquatint print result. So can you see the difference from the previous two intaglio techniques? So when you see this work, there is no scratched lines on this work, right? Because there are all flatted value modeling because it doesn't use a needle. And now let's move on to the lithography. So lithography printing technique is a totally different technique with relief and etching. So the image area on the lithography plate hold the ink, and the non-image area repel the ink. So there is no curving, needle drawing, or acid depression. Let's see how it works. So this is the process of lithography. So number one, so artist designs the image to be printed. And number two, using a grease pencil, the design is drawn on the limestone, blocking the pores. And number three, the stone is treated with acid and other chemicals that are brushed onto each surface. Then the surface is wiped clean with a solvent such as kerosene. And number four, the stone is sponged so that water can be absorbed into the pores of the stone. And number five, oil-based ink is repelled by the water and sits only on the areas where the oil crayon image was drawn. Number six, the paper is laid on the surface of the stone and it is drawn through a press. And number seven, the print is removed from the stone. Number eight, the completed image appears in reverse compared with the original design. So lithography is a planographic process, which means that the printing surface is totally flat. It is not raised as in relief or depressed as in intaglio. To make a lithographic print, the artist draws the image on the stone with greasy material. So when the stone is inked, the greasy ink sticks to the grease drawing. So let's see the last printing technique. In this chapter, we are going to see silk screen or screen printing. So screen printing is called silk screen or serigraphy. There is a screen. This is a screen for the screen printing, and the ink passes through the areas of the screen that are not blocked, mostly image area. Traditionally, this printing technique is used for t-shirt printing. So screen printing is a printing technique where a mesh is used to transfer into substrates, except in the areas made impermeable to the ink by a blocking stencil. So the screen is a fine mesh of silk or synthetic fiber mounted in a frame, rather like a window screen. Working from drawings, the printmaker blocks screen area that are not meant to print by plugging the holes so that no ink can pass through. Then the screen is placed over paper, and the ink is forced through the mesh with a tool called a squeeze. This one. And only the area here not stopped out allowed the ink to pass through on paper. So this is a screen printing work. It looks like a solid acrylic painting, right? So for screen printing, artists use one screen frame for each color. So for this work, for example, the artist used one frame is for this ivory color, and one is for the light gray, and one is for the medium gray, and one is for the dark gray. So this one is light, medium, and the dark gray, and the let's see, and one is for the red color, and then one is for the navy, and one is for the background, but the background is the gradation. Maybe just put the two colors and then squeeze together, mix the color on the background. So the artist used 7 screen frames, so that's a lot. It looks great workable art with the excellent technique. So okay, so that is for this chapter. So printing is kind of tricky to understand without visually watching how to do it. So please watch all the videos in this page for your understanding, and we're gonna see another medias and process in the next week. Bye.